If you've ever felt guilty for not being able to commit to just one career, one passion, or one identity, I need you to stop right now and listen to this. Because what you think is your biggest weakness might actually be your unfair advantage in the world we're living in. Let me explain. There's a term in psychology that most people have never heard of, but when you discover it, everything about your life suddenly makes sense. It's called being a multipotentialite. And if you're someone who's constantly jumping between interests, if you get bored after mastering something, if people have told you that you need to just pick one thing and stick with it, this is for you. Psychologist and author Emilie Wapnick studied thousands of people who couldn't narrow down their interests and found something fascinating. These individuals weren't scattered or unfocused. They were wired differently. Their brains craved variety, synthesis, and the integration of multiple fields. And in today's economy, that's not a bug. It's a feature. Think about it. We're told from childhood to specialize. Pick a major, choose a career path, become an expert in one thing. But that advice was designed for an industrial economy where you did one job for 40 years. That world is dead. Today's most valuable people aren't specialists stuck in one lane. They're connectors who can see patterns across disciplines. Steve Jobs combined calligraphy and technology. Lin-Manuel Miranda merged hip-hop and history. Elon Musk went from online payments to rockets to brain chips. None of them picked one thing. Here's what the research shows. Multipotentialites have three distinct superpowers that specialists don't. First, idea synthesis. You can take concepts from completely different fields and combine them in ways nobody else sees. A background in psychology plus marketing? You understand persuasion at a level most marketers never will. Music plus mathematics. You can spot patterns in data that look like chaos to everyone else. Second, rapid learning. Because you've learned multiple skills from scratch, you've actually learned how to learn. You've built meta skills that make acquiring new knowledge faster every time. What takes a specialist months to grasp, you can pick up in weeks. And third, adaptability. When industries shift, when technologies disrupt, when the world changes, specialists panic. You've been pivoting your whole life. You're built for uncertainty. But here's the trap most multipotentialites fall into. They compare themselves to specialists and feel inadequate. They see someone who's been doing graphic design for 10 years and think, I'll never be that good because I also want to write and code and learn languages. And that comparison is exactly what kills their potential. Because you're not supposed to compete with specialists on their terms. You compete by doing what they can't. You build careers at intersections. You create value in the overlap. Let me give you a practical example. There are millions of programmers. There are millions of writers. But how many people can code and write well? Suddenly you're rare. Add in some understanding of psychology or design or business, and you're not just rare, you're irreplaceable. This is called skill stacking, and it's the secret that multipotentialites need to understand. You don't need to be the best in the world at one thing. You need to be in the top 25% at 3 or 4 things. The combination is where the magic happens. Now, does this mean you should keep jumping randomly between interests with no direction? No. The key is what psychologists call sequential specialization or simultaneous variety. You either dive deep into one thing for a season, extract what you need, then move to the next, or you maintain 2 or 3 parallel interests that feed each other. Both approaches work. What doesn't work is fighting your nature or feeling ashamed for being wired this way. Here's what I want you to do. Look at your 3 biggest interests or skills right now and ask yourself, what exists at their intersection? What can you create or build that uses all of them? That's your zone of genius. That's where you'll do work nobody else can replicate. Drop an emoji in the comments that represents your biggest interest right now. I'm curious to see the variety in this community. And if you want deeper insights on building a life around multiple passions, I've got resources in my newsletter community linked in the description. The future belongs to people who can connect dots, not just collect them. The world doesn't need more people doing exactly what everyone else is doing. It needs you, with your weird combination of interests, seeing possibilities nobody else can see. So stop apologizing for who you are. Start designing a life that actually fits how you're built. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe because we're diving deeper into the psychology of success, fulfillment, and understanding yourself better. Your refusal to pick one thing isn't a flaw, it's your future. Now go build it.